by Tennessee head coach Kellie Harper. She'll begin with an opening statement, and then we'll take questions from the media. Coach?
Thank y'all for coming and joining. I tell you what, I'm so proud of our team. And I think we've shown a lot of resilience, but also a lot of focus to do what we've done, not just the last week. I know everybody talks about quarantine, but they had a week off for the holiday. And I'm just really proud of them. I think they've had a really good mindset. They're really on the same page with the coaching staff, understand what we're trying to do. I think this was a lot of fun, and it was really fun to watch the team just really enjoy this victory.
All right, we'll take a question from Ben.
Coach, you didn't come out of the shutdown with a regular non-conference game. You came back and you played your first SEC game and against the top 15 team. What do you think a win like this says about your team given those circumstances?
Well, again, I think it says that we've got a talented team. We can win games. I think it also shows quite a bit of resilience and focus, and the fact that our team was ready to play. They have been ready to play, and I think people could see that. If you watch that game, I think you could see our players were excited to be out there.
Donnie?
Coach, congratulations on the win tonight. With this win, do you think this will push you guys in the top 25? And why do you think national media haven't put you in the top 25 yet this year?
I think one thing, we haven't had a lot of opportunities for those, top 25 wins. We did our job at Indiana, didn't get to play Texas, didn't get to play Texas A&M, Kentucky. So, I think some of that is just we just hadn't had the stage to do it. And some of it is maybe just, people didn't know how good we would be this year to begin with. They weren't in practice with us every day this summer, where we saw how much better we were this year than we were last year, and how much growth we had. So we've been really excited. I'm not worried about it. The rankings will take care of themselves, but sure proud of our team to have this opportunity and to get a big win.
Will?
Yeah, I know there was a pretty obvious size advantage for your team tonight. I think Arkansas's tallest player in their starting lineup was 6'1", but what do you make of your team's performance near the basket, especially when you evaluate their physicality?
Well, I think we obviously had the advantage there. They knew it, we knew it. What I'm proud of is that our team executed it during the game. We practiced it. We talked about where we could get the ball and maybe have that advantage. But I'm just really proud of our team for coming out and really focused on the game plan, stuck with it for the entire game, and looked very confident doing it.
As a quick follow, given this team size, do you think that you guys are kind of at your best when you're playing inside out and trying to establish a presence inside? Or
I think for us to be at our best, we have to be very balanced. And I think being balanced means we have to have post touches, paint touches, as well as perimeter scores. I think that is when we are going to be at our best. And we have players that can do it, which is exciting.
Jordan?
Hey, Kellie, I know you were pretty high on Cassie in the preseason. Her box score maybe didn't indicate kind of success on the court early on this year, but the last few weeks, you've kind of been able to tangibly see that success and an improvement in her. Was it just a matter of getting her confidence up kind of throughout the season, or kind of what was the changing point for her?
Well, I think we just needed to get her back in the groove, back playing like she did early on this fall, and doing it in a game and feeling confident to do it in games. And I think the last couple, she's had some really good opportunities to score, and we felt good about it. Been really pushing her a lot in practice, trying to get her to find those opportunities and to score. So I'm excited. I thought probably for the first time, and maybe in 2 years, I thought down the stretch she wanted the basketball bad. And that matters when you want the ball down there. You're confident. I think it matters. It gives your teammates confidence.
Maria?
Coach, with all the events of 2020, and then of course what happened yesterday in the nation's capital, today's a statement by the players to kneel during the anthem. Was that discussed previously or sort of a spontaneous reaction, or is that something that has come up with you guys?
It wasn't discussed with us, and chatted with a few of them afterwards, and they said, they indicated to me it was pretty spontaneous. And a lot of, I'll be honest with you, I think a lot of it's just the emotions of what's going on right now and where they are with things. So that's, we haven't had a huge opportunity to talk it through, but they, I think that's how they were feeling in that moment.
A quick follow-up as far as what happened on the court. With the way Arkansas shoots threes, at what point did you feel comfortable with the lead that you had, knowing that you would probably win the game?
I didn't. Hey, well, there's about a minute and a minute and a half maybe to go. It was something like that. And Jordan Horseman came down. I said, hey, look, 3 possessions and they can make this a ball game. So I just wanted to make sure that we understood we still had to guard. And I think we ended up scoring on that possession. So it all worked out. Really proud of our team. It's funny. We held them to 73. That's how good they are on offense. Held them to 73.
Chloe?
Coach, the team had a bit of somewhat of a slow start in the very beginning of this game until I believe it was a timeout in the first quarter. What did you say or talk about with them during that time to really get that momentum going and for them to really get their head in the game?
Yeah, I think we were, I think it was that first time out. We talked a little bit about our pace. I thought we were quick shooting the basketball a little bit, and we weren't quite getting back to guard quick enough defensively. But there was no panic. There was not anything that was glaring. We just needed to stick to the game plan, settle down, and we would be okay.
Michelle?
Coach Harper's Michelle Vopel. For what it's worth as a voter, and I know you know this, the poll is usually a week to 2 weeks behind sometimes what actually happens. I have a feeling you're going to be ranked next week. I'll just say that. I wanted to follow up a little bit on what Maria asked in this. How difficult is it, or maybe I don't want to phrase it like that. What's it like as a coach to sort of have to deal with or talk to your team about social issues, and especially things that are so emotional and so personal for them, and obviously the fact that they watched, that was such a big theme for the WNBA and so many former Lady Vols. How have you sort of talked to your team about that?
Well, I think the biggest thing for our team, and we worked on this a lot this summer, and we had a lot of education. We were educating each other, ourselves, staff, players, our Black players, our white players, our international players. Everybody was educated this summer, and we shared a lot. We shared a lot of, personal feelings, and it was good for us because it gave us a really good understanding of the person sitting next to you, where she's coming from, and what her background is. And those discussions were really good. They were difficult at times, but that's okay. I think to get to the point, sometimes you have to have difficult conversations. And so I think the biggest thing that came out of that was where we all stood individually, what our stance was going to be, what was important to us. And, and obviously it's been very emotional. It's been hard. It's been hard to watch things on television and know where things are in the world. But, hopefully we can help. Hopefully we can help be the change, maybe a positive light. And I'm so proud of our players and how they've handled this, because I think it's been really tough.
Do you?
Zach? Go ahead, Michelle.
I want to ask this in the most sensitive way, but is it, one of the things that Renaya said was, I think it can be hurtful to them when they feel like fans don't support them. And obviously that can be a case in any state in the country, that can be the case. But is there anything you say to the players about if they get negative fan reaction for this in terms of helping them deal with that?
Yeah, I know they'll get some negative reactions. We know that. I think for them, they made a statement, and I think they need to stick to that. I don't know that you got to go back and forth. It does hurt them. It does. It does hurt them when they see negative comments, because they feel so strongly about what they're doing. But that's just life. You've got to deal with negativity, and you've got to deal with that. And, if you're strong enough with what you believe, and you just believe it, and you just march right on.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks, Eric.
Zach?
Hi, Kelly. Kind of a two-parter here. First of all, what does game planning and just kind of looking at tape look like when you can't be with some of your team throughout the week? And then kind of following up on that, Renaya mentioned, that she thought that the team just wanted to get out there and play. And do you think tonight's result was more about executing a game plan, or that kind of just seeing that the players wanted to get out there and hit the court again?
I think it was a great combination of both of those, to be honest with you. So we did not game plan for Arkansas until we came out of quarantine. Our first practice was Tuesday, so we practiced Tuesday and Wednesday. So we really didn't game plan for Arkansas until then. So everything we did prior to that, so that the week prior, was us. We worked on us. And it's hard to work on us when you only have one person out there. So there was a lot of individual attention, a lot of individual work, coaching from the balcony. It was unique. Now, I tell you, it was different. Our staff did an amazing job making sure that we were, clear and ready to go. I tell you what, I do need to give credit to Tyler Watson, our strength and conditioning coach. We go into quarantine, and I told Tyler they have to be ready to play a game on Thursday. And he had them ready. I tell you what, they look good out there. And I have to give him a lot of that credit.
Did you learn anything about, things you might change with, if you were to experience something like that again, things you would possibly change, or things that you might have liked?
Yeah, we had, we had a few players that we could actually work with, not enough to practice, and, had a little pickup game. Coaches, staff played. So we got creative. Like I said, I think we learned there what we can do. I think we tried to keep our players that were in quarantine engaged as best we could, with calls and Zooms and meetings and, shooting and workouts. So I think we did as good of a job as we could.
Ben?
Coach, I imagine you'll sign up for 26 apiece from Ray and Renaya every single night, but how do they complement each other so well?
Well, I think they're both very dynamic. I think they're what makes them hard to guard. A lot of people don't have enough big athletic defenders to guard both of them. And if they do, then a lot of times you got Jordan Horston over here as well. So I think I think that initially helps them. I think they both play really aggressively. It looks different, but they play aggressively, and I think that's really good. You've got to account for both of them. They can shoot. They do a nice job in the paint. So I think their styles are coming at you very differently. But because of their aggressiveness and their explosiveness, I think guarding both of them when they're playing like this is really hard.
Okay. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you guys for coming.